Hey, well, good evening, everybody. I hope that you are doing well. Welcome to Rep Sessions. I do appreciate you coming. Today, we are just going to have a candid conversation about business. And the reason why I want to talk to you about business is because lately there's been a lot of news about business, about money being offered, and it's there for the taking. But one thing that I have noticed about the money that's being available, whether it's triple P or whether it's the other loans, most people are not prepared to do the paperwork, especially in the Black community. That is one of the reasons, and I think Biden said it one day. That was one of the reasons why a lot of these major businesses got all the money. For one, they should not have been getting it anyway, some of them. And the other part is that these businesses could afford to have somebody dedicated to do all that type of paperwork. So getting the loans were very easy. So before I hop into that, and please, if you're watching me from YouTube, give me a thumbs up. Say hello, let me know that you're here. And if you're watching from Facebook, let me know you're out here. Say hello. So let me just say this. I'm an entrepreneur. Most people know that I do have an insurance agency and a new behavioral health practice that I'm really proud of and excited. And the work that I do is based upon helping others. Someone told me years ago, a wise person, matter of fact, he's passed away right now. He told me that if you can find a way to serve many, then you'll get what you want. And he was exactly right. I couldn't figure that out a long time ago when I was 18 years old with a baby, and I'm unwed and in college, and all I wanted to do was to be able to finish college and provide for my children. My children were my reasons why. And that's a whole nother show about, and everybody had the testimony, but I tell you, if I could write a book, you'd be just absolutely amazed. But one of the things, getting back to the topic about business, is that if you want to have a business, if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you're already an entrepreneur but don't have your business already structured, trust and believe you can do it. It is so easy to do it. Everything that you need to start a business legally can be done in less than an hour. Okay, I know, matter of fact, I had someone reach out to me and say, hey, do you know how to do the paperwork? Excuse me. My first business, I paid a lawyer. I paid about $500 and something. This was back in 2014. And I did that because I didn't want to do it wrong. But if I had known what he was doing or what that attorney had done, he charged me almost $600 for something I could have done in 30 minutes. So I'm going to show you step by step and share this video with others. If you have to go back to it and look through it again, definitely just do it. Just look at the video again. So the first thing to starting a business, and you'll see it in the description box if you're on Facebook, and you'll also see it in the comment section down on YouTube. The first thing is that you need to go to the Secretary of State. All right. And if you're in South Carolina, just Google it. Type in SC Secretary of State. And I'm actually going to put that there, SC Secretary of State. And what you're going to do is once you go to the Secretary of State, you are going to look up the business name that you're wanting to open up. Let's say that's JJ's Bakery. Type in JJ's Bakery and see if that name is available first. All right. And if it's available, then you can go ahead and check that name off. And they're just going to ask you some basic information, your address and all of that. And you type it in. And if you start in the morning, the Secretary of State has been really fast. They usually can approve your business by that same day. And they're going to give you something called Articles of Incorporation. And then they're also going to give you something called license to exist. All right. You're going to need those two things. So when they email them to you, you're going to save a digital copy And you're also going to print a copy of them off. And the next thing that you're going to do, and I'm going to type it in there. Yep. Dr. Crystal Franklin says you get approval the same day, and that's true. All right. The next thing that you want to do is go to irs.gov, and you're going to apply for an EIN number. All right. When you get that EIN number, and you're going to get that on the spot, and it's absolutely free to get your EIN number. What I meant to tell you before is that when you go to the Secretary of State, let's back up for a second. When you go to the Secretary of State, it's going to cost you around maybe $172. That is so important. It doesn't cost a lot to open up a business. I paid an attorney $550 back then. It costs you $170 something. The next thing you're going to do is go to irs.gov and get your EIN number, and that's free. Those are the only two things that you need to do the third step. And the third step is to go to a bank and apply for a business banking account. All right. Now that's important. I am recommending, I'm on live, baby. Thank you. I'm going to recommend that you don't go to a large bank and get a business bank account. Don't go to a small one either. Go to a medium size bank. You can go to somewhere like First Citizens. Okay. They're family owned. They have really good services. And you can also explore some of the online options for Black businesses. That's going to be really important because we do want to support Black businesses, but there are not a lot of local Black businesses. So it might be a good idea if you want to support a Black bank, a Black bank, then you may just want to do like a business savings account with them. So I'm going to put that up here, apply for a business bank account. All right. Now, when you go to that bank, they're going to ask you for those same two things that we talked about before, the articles of incorporation and your EIN number. Again, your EIN number is basically your business social security number. And that's all you need. And you probably will need about $100 to start up a business account. That's all you're going to need to make your business legit. I know that a lot of us are doing side businesses and side hustles. We need to turn our side businesses into real legit business. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a sole proprietor, but when you're a sole proprietor, it is much more difficult to get funds. All right. And just like now, they have PPP loans that are forgivable. That means you can get up to $10,000 or more. And I think even some cases up to under $25,000, and you can apply to get those things forgiven, but you have to have all of this done that I'm telling you about now. Now, here is one of the other biggest things. If you look in the description box, and this is where most of our Black businesses fall short. When they ask for quarterly reports or profit loss reports, many of us don't have that. We don't know how to do it. Matter of fact, I don't know how to do it. You need to get a QuickBooks account. All right. I know a lot of people don't want to pay the money, but when I tell you it is a lifesaver, and I have a link in the description box so that you can get 50% off of your QuickBooks. And this is going to be important because any type of financial reports and things you need, if you need to do payroll, when you do payroll, you have to pay taxes. But QuickBooks, you can pay them to basically be your team of accountants. You can't do it alone. You have to have a team of people to help you. And thank goodness we live in a day and age where your team can be an online platform like QuickBooks. QuickBooks, I mean, it does my direct deposit for my employees, for myself. I am an employee of my own business. When you do your business, you need to actually perform and act like a business. You know, even with Walmart, if you go in and buy a stick of chewing gum, they don't pocket that money. Every little cent they account for, and everything you need to run through QuickBooks. That lets lenders, investors know how strong you are. And if you don't have that paperwork to generate to them, you're going to miss out on a lot of good stuff. And I'll just tell you right now, I have gotten, I won't even say how much money that I have gotten that is forgivable. All right. And so long story short, whenever I had all of this paperwork that I'm telling you about available to the banks, they were like, well, wow, where'd you get all this paper? How'd you get it? And I'm like, well, my software, my account, and I do have accountants also, and it produced everything for me. I am not an accountant. So when you're in business, you don't want to have to be the accountant. Rely on QuickBooks to do all that for you so that you are legit and that you are current under the Secretary of State and with IRS. That is so important. Don't be afraid to pay your taxes. Okay. Excuse me. And QuickBooks will do that for you. QuickBooks automatically pays my taxes. So I don't even have to worry about it. I just review it and make sure that it's good and it's out the door. And the final and fifth thing before I close this show out is that once you get those other things in place, you need to go ahead and apply for business lines of credit. This is where we're going to go back to not opening up a business account with a large bank. Okay, because usually they're too large. They're not business specific. But if you go to a medium-sized bank, most of those business will just offer you lines of credit. And that's where the doors will open for you. People don't realize you can buy cars in your business name. You can, it's so much more is available to you whenever you have business lines of credit set up. And you're putting yourself in a position where at a certain point, you don't have to use your personal credit. Okay. So then again, apply for business lines of credit. Keep in mind that some businesses will just offer you, some banks will just offer you the business lines of credit, and you can have a low FICO score. It'd be nice for it to be over 550, but there's so many businesses out here that can help you clean up your credit if that's a problem. You got folks out here, and look her up on Facebook, Alice Darden, Mr. Benton that I know, and you can look through my friend list and just figure out between those two people, they are very good. They are very trustworthy. Shouts out to y'all. Get your credit cleaned up, and you can do that. So go ahead and don't be afraid to open up your business. If you have any questions or comments, the information that I just gave you, some people pay lots of money to sit in a class to learn, but I think that it would be robbery to not show people how easy it is to do it. And we can have conversations to help one another. And that's what we're supposed to do, is uplift each other. So if that's what your dream is, you can absolutely do it. Share this video, like it. And I look forward to next wrap session. If you have any other topics that you want to do, put it in the comment section, inbox me, and let's make it happen. All right. I hope everybody has a great, prosperous week and day. Do not let what's going on in our political world sway you. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There is hope. But you have to start with yourself first. Before you can want the outside to be different, you have to start with yourself. Start within your own home. Start with yourself. And you can do it. All right. If I can do it, I know you can do it. All right. Good night, y'all.